What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be feeding my two favorite reptiles, one of whom is Mr. Derp. You can see him over there, right there. He is a Cuvier's dwarf caiman. We are also going to be feeding my little buddy, Grindel, the black dragon Asian water monitor. These guys are both absolutely awesome. My two favorite reptiles by far. He loves to poop in his water, so that's why it's a little bit dirty. But these are both temporary cages for these guys. These two are going to get much bigger. He just heard the lock, and he knows what that means. So let's get Grindel's food. Today he's going to be eating a chick and two little mice. This chick is missing its head, so it's not quite as big. And he's been eating one chick. Now he's going to get the mice as well. Let's make him come over here, actually. Let's open the far door. So he has to come over. Come here, bud. Come here, Grindel. Come here, buddy. Oh my goodness, we got the jump. What a good boy. What a good boy. Fling it. Fling it. Fling it, Grindel. Oh, he's going to tear this thing up. Whenever he starts to claw it, he's ripping it to pieces so it's easier for him to get down. And then it gets gross. Because he'll rip it up, and then he flings it, and then juice starts going everywhere, and that's when I close the door, because I don't want to get juiced. But these guys are incredibly cool, super smart. His biological dad is one of the largest black dragons in the States. He's about 8.5 feet long. So if Grindel turns out to be a male, he's going to get huge. If he's a female, he's still going to get huge for a female, but not quite as big. Just a super, super rewarding and amazing animal to keep. I keep switching between if I think he's male or female, because they are sexually dimorphic, which means that you can tell the difference between males and females based on the way they look. So they're sexually dimorphic for size, so males are bigger. They're also, their head shape and their base of their tails will look different based on whether it's a male or a female, but that's only when they're sexually mature or closer to sexual maturity, so it is hard in the beginning year of their life to figure out if it's a boy or a girl. So he's only about 8 months old now, not even, and he's already that big. Each one of these tiles is 1 foot this way and 8 inches that way. So this is 2 feet and then 16 inches up and down. So you can see how big he is at only 7 months, and his tail goes way, way, way longer. So he's about 3 feet right now. Maybe slightly shorter, maybe like 33, 34 inches. But he's going to hammer this chick. That sounds very wrong. He's going to get that down, then we're going to give him a minute. We'll go feed Derp. We'll let Grindel get that chick down. And we're going to get some mice from Mr. Derp. He's ready. He came out. What I like to do with this guy is I like to kind of target train him based on sound. So I'll whistle. I'll go. And you can see the second I started whistling, he popped his head right out. He knows exactly what it means. And that's because I've been doing that every single time I feed him. Every time I put a prey item in there for him, I will make that exact whistle. And every time I whistle now, he comes out. So, super cool thing to kind of get him ready to expect the food, which makes it safer for me feeding him, just because if he knows that the whistle means food, he, hopefully will understand that no whistle means no food. That's kind of the goal. So he'll only expect food if he hears the whistle. So if there's no whistling, I can get in there and do some maintenance and stuff. And then when he does hear the whistle, he will know that food is on the way. So here's Grindel getting that chick down. The feet sticking out. We're going to grab those tongs again and get him those mice. Here's Derp's 3 more mice for him. And then we have Grindel's. Like I said, these are all temporary cages. I am moving to Florida in the next couple months. So once I move and once these guys are big enough to go outside and not get eaten by things that live outside, they will be going into massive outdoor enclosures that I am incredibly excited to build. Grindel's probably going to get something in the realm of 20 feet by 40 feet. So a huge, huge cage. for this guy right now. He's in a 5x3 grow out. Smaller cages when they're young let you interact with them a little bit more. Here's the mouse. This is going to be the biggest meal he's ever eaten. But when he's been getting those chicks, he has not been looking overly bloated. So that's one good indicator of monitor health, is these two lines of skin that go down the sides of their back. If right after they eat, those lines can go away, or they'll fill out obviously if their stomach is full. But if those lines are never there, that is a pretty telltale sign of an overweight lizard, and these animals are not really built to store fat. So if they are overweight, they can easily get fatty liver disease and sadly live a shortened life. So it is very important to not overfeed them. It's better for them to be athletically skinny than a little overweight. So I always try to slow grow these guys. When they're growing, though, you can kind of feed them a little bit more, and those extra calories will go towards growth and not as much towards fat storage. But the biggest thing with these guys, food and making sure that they're healthy, is to make sure that they have a nice and hot basking spot. Because if they don't, they won't be able to digest that food correctly, and then that will also make them fat because they can't effectively metabolize the food and burn the calories and stuff like that. So it's very, very important to have that nice and hot basking spot to keep them active, which will help them to burn the calories off and fully digest the food correctly and do all that stuff. So you can see him snaking that down. That's the biggest meal he's ever had, and you can see he doesn't really look bloated. He still looks nice and, still skin wrinkles. The skin's not all too tight, which means that he's doing good. Or she. I can't tell yet. He was looking female for a little bit. There are moments where his head looks male, so it's hard to tell. Generally, females will have kind of a sharper facial look. Males tend to get a more bulbous snout. And he kind of teeters back and forth. Right now, like I said, it's hard to tell because he's not sexually mature yet, so there's really no way to tell yet. One day we will tell, because if he's a male, he will likely leave sperm plugs in the water, in which case I'll know he's a guy, and if he's a female, he will likely lay eggs. So before you know if it's a male or female, it's important to actually give your monitor a place to lay eggs, like a lay box, because if it is a female and you don't have a place for them to lay eggs, they can become egg bound and they'll hold on to their eggs for too long, and those eggs can start to actually rot inside of them and cause all sorts of issues. So we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Grindel. You can tell he definitely knows what's food and what's not. He knows I'm not food. So just like to show him my hand so he knows. Even though he's in food mode, I can still interact with him. He's pretty chill. So I'm going to let him go and swim off that food. He always likes to go in the water right after he eats, or he'll bask it off. And then we'll go back to Derp. So there's Mr. Grindel. I think he's going to bask now. Hang out, bud. See if Derp ate that mouse. Sometimes Derp likes to hang on to his food. He ate it. That's good. We'll do our whistle. You can see right when I whistle, he perks his head up. He knows. He definitely knows what that whistle is, so that's good. Derp is a good boy. So Derp was born in October of 2021. This video is filmed in July of 23, so Derp is like 1.5 years old. When I got him, he was a little bit small for his age. I've had him a little bit over a year now, which is nice. Close to 1.5 years, I think. So Derp's been doing well. I've been slow growing him. Like I said, I do like to slow grow my animals because it tends to be healthier than pounding them with food and trying to get them as big as possible, as fast as possible. That normally, if anything, it might do nothing, but if anything, it has a negative impact on their health. So I would personally much rather just take the healthy route and make sure my animals are completely healthy and completely happy. But yeah, Derp's going to get that mouse down, and then he's going to eat those 2 mice. But we're not going to wait for him. He also doesn't like to eat in front of me. He just likes to take the food and then wait for me to walk away and then eat it. So that is that. In the next video, we are going to be feeding my beautiful emerald tree boa and also my Kenyan sand boa. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to stick around. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and if you have any suggestions, make sure to leave a comment down below. So I'm going to try to make more of these videos. I have the reptiles, I do all this stuff anyway, so I really should be recording all the stuff that I do. People find it pretty interesting, so make sure to stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Peace.